So we can hear you two different.
Sorry, ma'am.
You need to log out from one. Ma'am, you are logged into.
We have the permission, so ma'am. Usually, coffee board account we can use it from two accounts.
No.
One we use it for the mic, and the other is for screen sharing.
We are getting sound from both the we are hearing
You're
sound from both the
echoing.
logins, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Just give me a minute, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining.
How about now, ma'am?
Still, ma'am, you are actually in two different logins.
Ma'am, actually, you will have to mute, ma'am, because I guess that is causing the echo now. Yeah. How about now, participants? Can you please confirm?
Maybe someone else can give the feedback because I believe you are.
Yes,
because
it's
I
clear.
can see both of your screens are talking actually, ma'am.
That is there, ma'am.
I'm
But
hearing same voice two times.
voice is very clear.
It's quite clear
Okay.
here, not a problem.
Voice is clear.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Okay. Then. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Okay, I shall start again. Welcome to today's webinar hosted by Atal Incubation Center Coffee Board. With our incubation center is a technology business incubation center established at the Coffee Board's head office in Bengaluru. This initiative, in collaboration with Central Coffee Research Institute and Atal Innovation Mission, is dedicated to supporting and nurturing startups in the coffee sector. At AIC, we offer a range of facilities and services designed to accelerate the growth of innovative coffee related ventures. Our resources include state of the art laboratories, mentorship programs, funding opportunities, and access to industry experts. Today's session is a part of our Thought Cafe webinar series, which provides valuable insights on the coffee industry, startup ecosystem, and effective business strategies crucial for the success of the startups. To deliver this session, we have with us today Mrs. Vidya, the CEO and founder of Enscons. Mrs. Vidya, a seasoned consultant since 2014, is dedicated to helping startups and businesses of all sizes overcoming challenges and enhance execution strategies for the growth and profitability. With expertise spanning e-commerce, advanced technologies, and integration technologies, she has played key roles as strategic advisor, portfolio manager, global delivery lead, and more, building teams and portfolios across industries. Mrs. Srividya is recognized for her achievements in project management, people leadership, and quality initiatives. Her previous roles at Infosys and TCS earned her awards such as Best People Manager and Quality COE Anchor, driving cost saving initiatives and global delivery programs. Passionate about innovation and talent development, she has led multiple Propel confluences and championed customer satisfaction and technical excellence throughout her career. We are excited to have you share your insights with us today. I welcome you, ma'am, on behalf of Atal Incubation Center Coffee Board. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Give me a second. I'll bring up the presentation. Please let me know once you're able to see the screen. Are you able to see this?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, to quickly give a background, I have been So just to give you a quick background in terms of what I've been associated and have been worked with in US and in India. Around 25 years, I've been in the IT industry to be, but fortunately, I've actually been in part of, different domains and technologies. Domain in the sense different industries have played a role, from retail, healthcare, e-commerce platforms, education sector, energy utilities, or retail, or financial sector. End-to-end, I had actually participated from the people development, quality compliance and strategic understanding in terms of the people and nurturing what is required for the company, internal practices for organization capabilities and also for the quality aspects in terms of bringing the best practices in the organization from a people aspect and also from a process aspect. So here I am. I just wanted to quickly run through about this presentation. So just to give you a quick understanding that here in this presentation, my objective is to give you a couple of case studies in terms of what we have been doing for certain companies and how we have actually brought a change in certain, some of the companies wherever we have actually been a part of their journey in terms of the transformation and efforts. So we are actually considered as the transformation experts, and we also partner very closely with the companies. When we say we are partnering with the companies, we actually work with the management. We actually work with every organizational, from the top management to the mid management to the the ground level staff. We actually work with them very closely and understand where they are, what they are doing, what they are able to do, where the process issues are, where the challenges are, where they are actually not being able to utilize the efforts of the people, process, or any structure operationally. They are not being able to perform well, or process they don't have, or proper hiring practices or employee engagement is not properly done in the company. So all these we assess as part of our transformation programs for the companies. And the three areas where we work very closely with the companies are branding and market positioning, operational excellence, and workforce transformation. So we definitely try to build the market competence for the companies, productive and obviously better engaged teams, because people are the core to company functions. Any of the functions you look at, the people are very core to business functions. And if you groom your people in the right sense and the right way, you have definitely done your bit in terms of making sure that your employees are also giving back to you and your company, right? And at the same time, they also see the growth path in the company and clarity in terms of how they are working for the company for different activities in the company. So we work on this cultural shift, the change, what we can reflect. Even for the startups, it holds good. As simple as, one example I could give of, recent thing, what I'm sure you have all come across, that companies like Byju's or such companies who have not been able to core manage their efforts, or the value systems, they have not been able to bring in certain value to their core functions. They have collapsed even after reaching the higher heights of functioning and bringing a lot of good funds and for the organization to really expand and nurture. But the core values have definitely gone wrong somewhere, and they've never been able to retract or do anything about it. It was too late in the journey for them to really do anything for the company. So Byju's is one example. Similarly, if you see, Byju's is more from a people aspect and the process aspect, where they could not really nurture themselves, and then at a later stage they actually collapsed. But there are companies who have not been able to do their bit in from terms of trending or innovation, what they can actually bring in the organizations. There also we have seen that the companies have lost a bit and the companies also collapse. So on the screen, I have also mentioned the kind of industries what we have served. So we are sector agnostic. We have been helping the manufacturing industries, consumables, food and beverages, embedded products like IoT and IoT products, nutraceuticals, chemicals company, energy products companies, acoustics, cosmetics company. We have helped toys company, pet toys. We have helped. In fact, they are still our customers. Power infrastructure products and services company. This is in the manufacturing segment where we have helped certain companies. Similarly, in the service industry, I have helped medical diagnostics, healthcare clinics, the tourism and such companies where they are very specific to services offering service offered in their respective domains and this thing. And chit funds, mutual funds, waste management, real estate companies, multi-branded bike services. So these are the service industries, service companies where we have actually done some, the transformation efforts, or be it, very specific efforts in terms of the brand management or HR policies, or structuring their internal practices, or SOPs, building their SOPs and all that. Similarly, in the retail sector, we have helped the garments company, which is actually located in Commercial Street, cleaning chemicals, oral care company, wellness products, cosmetics, bakeries and confectionaries. Everyday company. I'm sure you would be seeing everyday breads in the in the every supermarket store. They are our clients. We have done a good effort in terms of bringing their brand presence in the market. Biodegradable products company, Hyderabad based company. We are actually location agnostic. We have been helping companies pan India. Not only in Bangalore, but we have also been helping the companies across India. Similarly, IT sector, I have helped the supply chain management company. There is a SaaS product that they have actually. Similarly, software services company, we have been serving in Chennai, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. Then Mumbai-based company, we've actually been helping on the software services front. Similarly, blockchain technology, again, this is a Hyderabad-based company. So we've been helping the companies irrespective of the sector. And because I've been fortunate to work in different sectors and industries while I was in US or back in India, I've been able to work in different industries and different domains. I've been able to bring that shift in our domestic market as well. And my team, in each of these areas, my team is also, they are their own experts in the respective areas. They also come in with their, their efforts in terms of either transformation or SOPs or brand positioning or marketing, whatever we are doing for the companies. So this is what we have been doing. And as a company, we have existed for about, the last couple of years, whatever we have done, we have touched upon 350 clients, served across the 22 plus industries. And offerings, I mean, we 30 plus offerings. What I meant here was that we provide customized solutions. We don't limit ourselves to what we are doing and how we are positioning ourselves as a company, as a service provider. But we understand the challenges of the company first. We do the audits according to their respective challenges. Against these audits, whatever the interim measures have to be brought in, those measures have to be actionized. And against that action plan, we actually work towards deliverables, either the respective branding or operational excellence, or be it on the HR or policies front, from the people aspect, expectations or KPIs, targets, all these things we work based on the challenges very specific to the company. So that's how we look at the offerings. And we have been recognized by Silicon India Magazine, Enterprise World. I've also been the cover story for them, actually, for the last year. In fact, this year again, I'm the cover story for Silicon India. Like that, we have been servicing in this industry. Now, coming to the next, you can possibly look at some of these testimonials. There is a QR code against each of these testimonials. You could take a moment for capturing the QR codes and maybe take a screenshot of this page and probably reach, so you could actually see how my clients have been looking at us as their partners for their respective growth and how they have been associated with us on a long term. In fact, all of these companies, some of them, they have been still with us for 2.5 years. I'm still serving them. Each of these companies, they have not really rolled out. They still see us as their partners for their growth. As an extended team, we actually work with them. So this is about the company. And in order to come back to our main agenda in terms of what we are really talking here in this session, first thing first, I would like to mention that when you say operational excellence, right? I mean, before I come back to the screen, although you have seen the screen already, but I would like to hear from you all, what does operational excellence means to you? What do you really see? Can I take a minute? Maybe you can just put a message in the chat window. What really operational excellence means to you. If you can put in in the chat window. I can see and and how you have been maneuvering your efforts in the in your respective company actually. So I would encourage everyone to really come in on a chat. Thank you, Ganasham, right? Ganasham. Increase productivity and efficacy. Very nice. Yeah, anything comes into your mind that what really makes you a better company as an operationally efficient, what it really means to you as, what you really need to do in your company, what you're missing, what you have not been able to achieve, or where you want to see yourself as a company. Yeah, please put in. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Augustine. The process and procedures, very well said. We need to have very clear structure, process and procedures. Avoiding wastage, excellent, Ajish, thank you so much. Avoiding wastage, food wastage or anything, but it is also process wastage, systems wastage, the way we actually function day to day, our operational, activities. There also you will see wastage. Yes, rightly told that being agile means, we as per the trends, whatever practices we are seeing in the market and all that, how quickly we adapt to those changes, even if we are not adapting to them in a holistic way, in 100% way, but can we take a step up approach, like one step at a time, and then being agile about going and bringing some changes in our way to day-to-day functions. Thank you, Vikram. Zero waste, absolutely. Zero waste, is possible at least across some of the functions and activities. Yogaraj says people management effectively. Yes, indeed. Mitra says effective time management. Indeed, Mitra, there is no doubt about it. I think time management is a very crucial factor, whether it is to the team or to the business overall. We have to look at the time management. Ishan says operational excellence is having an easy set of standard operating procedures that can be followed by all employees and would consequently lead to higher efficiency, and in most part of the business. Excellent, Ishan. Thank you so much, everyone. And very nice of you to really put in those thoughts. It definitely makes takes an effort for us to bring in such changes into the way we are operating, and one step at a time. I think Raj Subhati mentioned, right, that being agile. We can always take one step at a time in terms of how we are actually doing things, how we are dealing with things. It definitely takes that effort, but it is worth doing that. Next slide. I'll just come back to our next slide. So I think you have rightly touched upon some of these already, some of the points. Process optimization, yes, we need to have certain set of practices at each department level. Have you analyzed what are the process flows, what you have, where you stand, how much of time it takes for us to do certain elements? Is there any wastage happening in terms of doing our activities? Can a job which is done in 12 hours, can it be done in 10 hours? Or can a job which is done in 1 hour, like be it in the production space, or, be it in the servicing space, or you have a cafe of your own, or be it, you're in the packaging, you are actually delivering packaging solutions for the coffee products. You look at different, whatever departments you have in your organization, what processes you follow, and is there a way we can actually minimize our efforts, increase our productivity, and reduce our time? Timely delivery means that, we whatever commitment we have to our customers in terms of, either give, let us say you have your products in the e-commerce platforms. Are you really timely delivering the products? Are you making sure that an effort is really going, ahead, that once the customer is received the packaged, have you gone ahead and then, spoke to them and make sure that, they are happy with the product delivery and they are happy with this thing. So timely delivery is not just about delivering the products timely to the customers, either in the service space or in a cafe or in the e-commerce space, anywhere. You also make sure that they are happy with the timed approach, whatever you have taken, and the quality which is given for the product you are delivering in the timeline you have delivered, right? For the quality matters. Metrics and KPIs, we all need to have certain set of metrics in terms of what we do. The KPIs are nothing but small targets which we can put in each of our departments, what we can do and how we can achieve those targets. Very simple targets. As simple as let us say if you have 10 customers in your cafe, against the 10 customers, how are you making sure that you have only so much of staff, but with minimal effort, you are able to do much with less time and delivery to your customers for the orders which are getting placed. So we need to see how we can improve upon our small specific functions and matrices and the KPIs against it. Quality control plays a very, very important role. I think any company which starts slow or is excelling in certain activities, there could be a flaw in certain activities or certain departmental functions or areas where you can see that there is a leak happening, either level revenue leak or some cash issues or some other activities in terms of the team not being able to do things up to the mark, or the quality of the food, whatever we are actually producing, manufacturing, packaging issues. Quality control can come in multiple places, and how are we really addressing in each of these multiple places? Next, we are looking at lean and agile practices. How agile we can be in terms of bringing any of these changes in the system we are operating in, and how one step at a time we can bring small changes in the way we are taking. Lean means taking a small approach which is very much critical to it. Without that you cannot function your business, but there could be certain things which you can avoid. Maybe there are 10 things which you are doing, but without compromising on the quality, you can still do 8 tasks instead of 10 tasks for the same activity, same different departments. So how do we really bring in some lean aspect into delivering our functions in each of these? Either it is manufacturing or like production you're doing, or service you're providing, or online engagement, or marketing our products online or e-commerce platforms. How are we really taking those steps, and is there any way we can actually bring down our steps to deliver faster but not compromising on our quality? Then those are kind of the lean methods and agile practices which we can actually bring in some change. Training and development plays a very important role for the employees, and also we as a business owner, we have to be really conscious about our efforts in terms of what we are doing and in the company, and how well are my team trained to really perform. So most of the companies, they against the struggle what they face in terms of the delivery or engagement what they have with the customers, they're fighting to just survival, fighting for their survival, fighting for their day-to-day operations. They forget that the every team member needs nurturing, and it's not like one time training you can do and then you can be at peace. No, after every month, or at least 3 months, in every 3 months you need to see how my teams are doing, how teams are not being able to do certain tasks, and where I can train them, at least put my vision into place, right? I have a certain vision to do at a certain quality level, certain way of doing activities. So how do I really, forward my vision to my employees? So that only comes by training, because employees will only come with an employee mindset. It takes an effort for us to make employees to bring in that enterprising mindset. So when we transform our own employees to think on an enterprise level as an enterprising mindset, then we know that yes, employees also are able to do their bit and then bringing back better business for us actually. So training and development plays a very important role. Cost management, I know, I'm sure you would all know that many of the companies collapse only because they are not being able to manage their cash flows. Right? Throughout the month, we will have to execute some of the other payments. We have to manage our vendors. We have to manage our raw materials. We have to manage our production activities. We have to manage our services, or any other cafe or retail business or trading business you are doing, or e-commerce business you have. You know that there are certain points, where you know that, okay, cash is coming in at these dates or won't they? How do you really structure your efforts in terms of managing those cash flows is very, very important. Many companies have collapsed by not being able to just manage their cash flows, right? Risk management is another factor where you have to identify early your risks and bring in the customer satisfaction which is required. I'll not talk about workforce productivity. I'm sure you all understand since we talked about the people and process aspects. Improvement culture, where and all we can bring in the certain small changes in the system, the way we are doing. And regulatory compliance plays a very important role because in India, definitely we have certain very specific compliances we have to adhere to, and we should be aware of those compliances. See, we cannot avoid those compliances. It's better to be aware than avoid, and bring in certain minimal practices in terms of being compliant as an organization, because as you grow as a company, these compliances should not become an hindrance for your growth later, right? So why not become compliant today than suffering at a later time when the company is actually growing? So regulatory compliances matters a lot for the companies. You need to really be aware of what is required, what is not required, what at least in the best case scenario or worst case scenario, what do I have to follow, and how much it takes for me to really follow these compliances. Is it worth it? Is it, does it, should I run it as a proprietor company? Should I run it as a private limited company? Should I run it as a LLP? So all these things, play a very specific role in terms of what kind of compliances will be applicable to you as a company. So operational excellence not just comes around in and around the processes and standards. It also means that you're operationally compliant, and you're also making an effort to really bring in that kind of a structure in place as a company. So this is about a quick just on the operational excellence. I'll also mention about the brand. If we have to think about the brand elements, like as a company, if how branding actually helps the companies, what does it actually means for us to see that, each of our company has to be branded in certain way, what it really means for a brand to exist, or, for a branding to be done in a proper way. Can you throw some thoughts, everyone in the chat window, please? What are the different branding elements you need to consider before you can think of having a brand established in the market? Is there anything which is mandatory, which are not mandatory at the moment? You can give me any thoughts actually. What companies have to look for when it comes to branding? Okay, no response from anyone. You can probably put in a chat window. Target audience. Yeah, very nice, Suman. Target audience is very, very important. We need to know which segment we are operating in. Are we operating in the luxury segment? Are we operating in the mass segment? Are we operating to the specific, demographics, or, the age group of people? Are we targeting at a specific, location? There are many ways where we can actually define our target audience. So we need to be clear on which target areas we are actually focusing on, what kind of people we are. Very well said, Suman. Any other thoughts? Yeah, Mitra says name and uniqueness of the brand, value association with the customer segment. Absolutely fantastic. Raj says brand depicts the philosophy and values behind the vision of the company. Absolutely. Ishan, you have a very valid point, price point. Yes, because when you know that your brand is recognized in the market, you have better negotiation power. Your pricing strategies are strong enough to really, for the perception to be created in the market. So price point is a very, very important factor for a brand once considered. Creating a lasting impression, yes, and you need to keep talking about your brand all the time, what I'm here for, what is it actually I'm doing. Yes, Kizar Khan, yes, very right, sir. Packaging is definitely is an important factor these days. Sustainability and environmental, approach. Every company is taking a step forward in terms of bringing those packaging efforts. I understand environmental and sustainable packaging is expensive, but it is actually going to create a longer run. I think if you see the from a globalization perspective also, there are many countries who are taking an effort in terms of bringing certain such policies which we are very stringent in terms of the packaging efforts and how these packaging. So obviously when you are exporting your products into the export market, you will be coming in that radar of policies where each of these countries are also bringing such policies in place. So packaging definitely is a very important point. Thank you, Kizar. Ganashan, it says branding should be associated with the products. Absolutely. We need to be clear of what we are promoting and what we are here for, what service or what product, we are actually catering to, and how, what are the values and vision we have for the company, and that also should define the brand. Very well said. Thank you so much for all your comments. Going forward, I think we touched upon some of these elements. As you mentioned about the brand elements, target segmentation, vision. I think someone mentioned about the vision and clarity. Brand presence, yes. I think someone, Ganasham and also, I think Mitra has also mentioned about the brand value and presence. Content strategy. See, how do we really define our content? How do we want to project ourselves in the market? Content strategy, reach strategy also plays a very important role because that defines the perception of the brand. How do you really make sure that, yes, everyone in the market is perceiving me as a brand, what I want to be perceived as, right? So that content and reach is what is going to enable you to really being perceived in that sense. Brand guidelines, competitor analysis, you need to be really clear on your competition, who is doing what in the similar segment of where you're operating, in the radius what they are operating. I mean, if you have a cafe, how far is the next cafe who is probably your next very competitor, right? You need to be very clear on such competition analysis. And also on the domestic market, let us say domestic or export market, you are actually, who are we really competing against? We need to really be clear on your competition, not only at the ground level, but also on an online presence. So there are, we also look at competitor analysis in the digital space before you market yourself in the digital marketing. So offline as equal it is for the competition analysis, online competition analysis is also equally important. Brand guidelines, you need to have very clear, specific brand guidelines of what kind of colors, what kind of logo, how information, what is the tagline, where is that being promoted, how is it being promoted, which color theme which you're actually practicing for your brands, what is the packaging value which you want to bring in against each of the packaging efforts you're doing. So there are very specific brand guidelines in terms of projecting ourselves, whether you are a cafe business or you're an e-commerce business, you're a trading business, or in a retail supermarkets, you have your products in the shelf, or be it, you are just a production company and distributing your products through different channels. Right? So you need to be very specific on your brand guidelines. Recognition comes from the acts of whatever we are doing as part of these other activities, whatever it's even studying your target, start looking at your vision, your capabilities, how are we reaching from the market, offline and online. And that actually brings as the needed brand recognition and brand recall. What do you mean by brand recall? Recall is nothing but where brand recall is nothing but where you're actually where you're actually looking at how the each of these activities, whatever we are doing in terms of our promotional efforts. Let us say we participate in exhibitions. Let us say we participate in different different events which happens in the let us say Bangalore or any other place. How are we participating? How are we really taking care? And how are we really recognized as a brand, and are people, do they remember us for what we are doing offline and online marketing? What is that value they are seeing against our products? It makes a lot of difference. That's where the brand recall comes into play, and this is where the repeat business happens. So if you are figuring out, always customer acquisition, new customer acquisition is very costly. As you all know, customer acquisition is very expensive compared to bringing a repeat business for your for your company, right? So repeat business, you have to make sure that quality of the business is maintained. Quality and quality is very, that is something which we can definitely not compromise, right? But we also look at how are we really perceived in the market, how are we seen in the market, what are we really here for, how our brand quality is, either in terms of the product as such, the product itself, or the packaging, or the feel good factor. There is an emotional connect which we build with different brands, right? Like for example, Cadbury's, you have an emotional connect with Cadbury's, what it is for. Similarly, you probably have, the sports shoes, what you probably go for Adidas or Nike or any other. You have a very specific, need and emotional connect with that. Bata, or as such, any simple brand, or luxury brand which you are actually going after, you would know that there is a connect which we have already built with the brand, either any of the segments. So how do we really bring that emotional connect, the longevity, and the people to believe that yes, my product is here for quality, product is here for quality. So that's where the brand recall plays a very, very important role. Ad management plays, definitely, if you are we only talked about the brand awareness, brand recall, brand management, and all that. Ad management plays very significant role in terms of creating a brand awareness, brand reach. So when you're running lead campaigns or such campaigns, or branding campaigns, there are many things which you are actually looking at, right? Each of these areas wherever you are actually promoting yourself, there are many ways to run the ads. They also depends on the channels where we are promoting the ads, right? So ad management plays a very important role. First, you need to be very clear on your goals which you want to achieve against the brand management and engagement, and then trust and credibility builds over time, right? So this is all about, I just wanted to quickly present these two screens for you so that you can go and analyze where you stand, what is operational excellence, or from the brand presence point of view, how are you utilizing your internal team members? Have you been doing enough for them to do enough for you? You also have to train them enough, right? So all these things, go back and then probably assess for your own company, how much have you been able to achieve, where the areas where you have not been able to achieve, what do we really do, and one step at a time can we really take to improve upon our business. So few case studies I'll just quickly present here. So 1 second. So how much time do we have? Yeah. So I just want to quickly touch upon a few case studies here. If you see, there are, in the manufacturing segment, I'll tell you one challenge which we have addressed for each of these companies, where you can possibly relate to how you've been actually doing that. And this is a bakeries and confectionery manufacturer and wholesaler company. It's based out of Bomasandra, and this company we've been actually servicing from the last 2 years. For them, they had an issue with their, the company has established itself for almost 12, 13. They have realized that, oh my God, I did not even register my company and the trademark. So I don't have an IP for myself. They're doing excellent business, but they do not have a trademark for their company. It's actually, when you know that initial stages, maybe you test your waters, you know where you're doing, but do not take so long. 10, 12 years is a long time for you to recognize that, yes, my brand is already established. I'm there in the domestic market. I'm going again back and forth in the domestic space. In every location, I'm there and all that. And then very late, you realize that I need a trademark. By then, there are so many other companies who have already been existing in the same place, same space, And you know that yes, if you go after that company, you cannot really fight for them, right? As simple as that, everyday brand, every day is there in ITC, every day is there in Nestle. They all have their own set of brands in every day. Now if a company every day with goes for a trademark, definitely it is going to get opposition. So whatever business is it's going to do right now, they'll end up getting these oppositions, and for a long time you will end up fighting the opposition in the trademark, against the trademark whatever you have going to register for. So this is the challenge which we have actually for this company, what we were looking at, and we are looking at possibilities of how we can differentiate that way. Industrial cleaning chemicals company manufacturer. This company came to us saying that 25 years they have existed in the market. After 25 years, they have realized that they have become stagnant in their growth, and they want to see that I'm really not doing enough. I don't want to name the company here or the turnover of the company, I'm sorry, but they have not been doing enough after 25 years of existence also. There are many companies I'm sure you would have come across with after 25 years or 30 years also, they are doing only 2 crores or 3 crores of business, or max 5 crores of business. I'm sure you would have come across such companies. Why? After 25 years, almost of my half of my lifespan of my work lifespan, I've making this company go to the next level, but I've only been doing so much business. Why is that? There are two factors here. One, they have not been able to get in proper good process controls. Second, they have not been able to do enough for their market presence. Although they have been working with good hospitals, they have been working with industries and also hospitals, and many areas they have actually been doing fantastic job. But they are not doing enough recruitment in terms of the proper salespeople, education, what is required for the salespeople to really go after different locations in the domestic market. They have not been doing enough. So this was one challenge which we have been addressing for them, and how we have revamped their presence in the market digitally. Digitally, we have revamped their market and positioned them the way they would want it to be. So we have helped them with their website and management efforts. Also on the sales process conversions factors, we have actually done it. SOPs, some process controls we have brought in. Now this company has shifted from a small place BTM layout to Lalbagh Road. They have their own godown, a big godown, and they have their own manufacturing unit. Earlier, they used to outsource their manufacturing. This is next retail sector. I have the pet products company, which is based out of Mumbai. We are helping them. They have never seen us. They have not met us, but still they are working with us even till date. For 2.5 years, I'm servicing them. And for the pet products, they are into pet toys, and they are also in the wholesale retail and the e-commerce platforms like Amazon and Flipkart. So what the challenge, what they were actually having was that their warehouse practices. Warehouse, in the warehouse you have I'm sure your inventory in and inventory out. How process, you can actually inculcate certain practices in the way you are actually managing the inventory in and managing the inventory out will make a lot of difference in the way you are actually giving your output to your overall warehouse management and implementation, right? Inventory management. So we had tried to bring in their bin system. We got in some efforts into how the packaging has been done, how the assembling has been done, how the different racks binning and system has been placed. So there has been certain changes which we did, small, very specific changes in the warehouse, but they have actually improved upon their in and out, and hence the number of sales in the company. So this was one thing which we achieved. Second, around 6 years or 7 years they have been in the industry, but they were not aware of, as a private limited company, they were not aware of certain mandatory compliances which they were supposed to handle in the organization, which we had tried to transform them, change, put in the practices. Now we have also hand-holding them from last 2.5 years. So this is the shift which we had gotten from the compliances aspect. Second, we also looked at how warehouse implementations like binning, racking, packaging, assembling, you need to have a clear structure no matter how much is your space, in your office, how much ever is your space in your office, how effectively you are utilizing your space matters actually in terms of right packaging and right inventory movement, right? There is another company on the e-commerce practice, segment, natural health drinks. So they are actually promoting tea products. I mean, to put it simple, but they are more of kashayas, what they actually promote. And for this company, when they came to us, they had a website which was satisfactory enough for the company, but they were not able to integrate their brand presence in the social media the way they wanted it to actually, and there is no engagement happening. So it's like, only when you keep telling about your company again and again that I exist, I'm here for this, I promote my products for these, I have these kind of kashayas or these, for health, immunity, for child, cold, cough, and any other symptoms or any other, symptoms of indigestion or anything. When you tell about your products, only people will come to know, right? How will anyone would come to know by the name of the company? When you show certain graphics or certain posters, certain activities in the different social media, people will come to know that, okay, you have such kind of products. Okay. And this is what you are doing in each of these areas. Now, are you present in Amazon? Are you doing enough in Amazon? So for this company, we also revamped their presence in Amazon. The way, see, most of the companies, what the biggest mistake they do is they upload their products in Amazon. They just upload their products. They don't give the very clear specifications to the product, how their product is, what is the specifications around it, product descriptions, detailing, and Amazon A plus content. I'm sure most of you, if you're there in Amazon, you would understand what is Amazon A plus content. How do you really picture way, how you really promote your product in terms of showing what you have to offer in different areas, like say for this company, indigestion or cold and cough, or children, they had certain this this asthma patients, they had some kashayas and all. So like that, very specifically they had very segment oriented for old people, and for the kids, and for all generations. Like that, very specifically, we created a brand store for them in Amazon. It's like creating a website inside Amazon. So unless you promote your products in a proper way, people will not recognize. Believe me, this company used to get one, orders per month. Now they are getting 30 orders per month. This has only been 6 to 8 months since we have actually done that. They have not even started campaigning efforts, because it's a small company, it's a budget oriented company. They have not been putting too much money into the campaigns. So very organic way we had promoted in different social media platforms, and we have been able to bring that kind of a business for them. Yes, eventually we are actually telling them that yes, small bit of campaigning efforts in terms of brand recognition, brand awareness, or lead management, these things you can also do to improve upon your numbers. So this is the way, like companies have been struggling. They see that, okay, I mean, I can be present in Amazon, can get business. No, I don't think so. You need to really put it out there, that and people appreciate you for what you have as a product. There is another company, Snacks and Savories. It's also a 6-year-old company. Here, the company was struggling with the basic necessity guidelines which Amazon asks, or any platform, e-commerce platform asks, especially after pandemic. Each of these platforms have been very much stringent on the documentation guidelines they require the companies to follow. If you study those guidelines appropriately and then prepare your brand in that certain scenario, how do you present your brand, what kind of product is shown, is the packaging information is shown in the Amazon. So there are very specific things which you need to primarily follow. If you do that, then you get this thing. And second thing I would like to emphasize is, if you have a trademark, only then Amazon or their company will give you the option to create a brand store. So if you are actually looking for if you don't have a brand store, you didn't know how to do it and all that, it's all it takes is to register your company under trademark. And once you get the trademark, you can actually create a beautiful website within Amazon and promote your products appropriately. So this is the shift which we had bought in for the snacks and savories company. There is another, this in the services segment, what we have helped for the power products. This company, what the shift what we had brought in for the power products is how they are communicating to the clients. So they were actually very, very naive in terms of communication, big smileys in the emails. Some places they are writing some information, some places they are not writing information properly. So it doesn't give you a very, like professional approach to your email communications, your documents, purchase orders, or POs, whatever invoices which you generate. If you follow a very specific structure to your invoices, to the way the documentations or purchase documents are being done, procurement, let us say you're procuring the raw materials or anything, how you really put in structure also matters. This is where a lot of companies lose. Wastage happens here as well because of your bad documentation efforts and not being able to communicate well with each of the stakeholders, whether it is clients or whether it is consumers or clients, or whether it is vendors. If you have your documentation right, you can actually avoid a lot of mistakes in terms of selling and buying whatever is you're doing in the products companies, right? So this is where the shift which we have brought in for this company. And believe me, in fact, during pandemic for 2 years, we had done this transformation for them, when every company power infrastructure space was definitely low because all the companies were shut down and they were not able to appropriately bring their business. So pandemic has taught us in many ways of what else can be done as a company, right? What else we can do as a company, what all the other areas we can service, what I can do for, for my products and services, where I have to market, where I can market before I was not marketing, those things, right? So pandemic has definitely helped us way. So this company has created that shift because they were, we perfected their documentation efforts, we perfected their email communication efforts. They were able to bring a small shift in the way they are actually communicating the clients. So all the people who are working from home, people who have been having their home offices, right? Working from home, they're also having their home offices. They are in need of power products as such as inverters or UPSs or batteries and these things. So how they reached out to residential communities, so they could actually bring a very good shift from B2B segment to B2C segment. And that company made 13 crores of additional business during the pandemic because of these additional change and efforts. For all of these companies, we have done in in multiple ways, but I'm trying to bring in very specific challenges so that you can see, are you also facing these kind of challenges, and can you address these things also in your perspectives, in your ways, and in your business, right? So buying and selling cars, this company had a 12 years old business presence, but they were not able to cater to the compliances what a company has to follow. So very specific shift. Can you imagine around, they had yard management, they had yards actually. The company also had yards, which they were giving to Ola, or Cars 24 and such companies for keeping their cars in the yard actually. But there were very specific compliances which they had to follow in terms of the labor laws, in terms of the employee laws, in terms of how they're engaging these people, because they're working all around the clock, because security guards have to be present in the guarding those stations in the night also. So they're actually working either overtime or round the clock, or they could be two shifts. So you are actually bringing in the shift wise approach in each of this. At the same time, there are statutory guidelines you need to maintain, mandatory guidelines you need to maintain from a as a company, right? So we actually gotten those kind of compliance guidelines for them implemented. In fact, for this company also, we've been servicing for 2 years plus now. Similarly, we have given a pharmacy client. In fact, brand shift is what we did for this company. Experience Center, they started, last year. After working around 12 years, there a group of doctors came, together. They said, I'm having working with the different tied up hospitals. It's not giving them a brand image. So there are at times when you work with collaborations, you also do not get the visibility as a brand, right? So this is where they were losing actually. They were not able to bring their brand presence in the market because they were always working in the collaboration in the place where they were collaborating for the companies, right? With the companies, right? So they had not been able to bring their own name in the market properly. And this is the shift which we had brought in. They started with first experience center in Rajajinagar. And within 4 months of brand shift and marketing, whatever we have done for them, we have been able to bring in 5 more centers in the next 4 months, actually. So now the company is having, within 1 year, we have already opened around six clinics for them, where they also have the pharmacy. They are into integrated medicine, Ayurvedic, and also some of the surgeries which they do actually as part of their integrated medicine approach. And for them, we've been able to bring a brand shift. So what I wanted to emphasize here is, how are you really branding? Who are you collaborating? Is that collaboration helping you to bring the visibility of your own brand in the market? How are you really helping, your brand to really being visible and being acknowledged, that the clients actually perceive you as your brand, not as the collaboration who are in it. Collaboration is definitely important because right now, you cannot do everything in one as a company, right? You need to collaborate, but you also make sure that you are also getting the brand enough visibility to your brand. So this is the brand shift what we got in for this company. There is another interiors designer companies. They also, I mean, it's a Bellandur based company in Bangalore only. They wanted to see shift in terms of how am I servicing. Okay, I'm servicing 10 clients per month now, this month. Next month onwards, I want to service 50 clients, right? So maybe it's not possible very next month, but eventually, if we can bring in certain small process automation, process changes in the organization, activities if you can do in the organization as a process controls, whatever you can bring, this company now has 2 more new revenue streams, and they are actually helping other interior companies where they have actually brought in a new ERP system, complete process automation, what they have brought in by our help. And later they are actually selling the same product to many other interiors companies. So this is another success story of us in terms of how do we really bring in the brand shift and process automation, how it can actually improve upon your presence in the market, not only to only service interior services to your B2C clients, but they are also serving the B2B clients, right? So this is an excellent success story of that company. Similarly, we have helped the IT companies, SaaS automation company. Recently, we've been still working with them for bringing the brand shift. The object for this company that I'm a transport service provider. How do I create a shift for myself to get into supply chain management company? So as simple as, if you are seeing, right, you are a trader, you're probably distributing your products across different channels and all that, but how do I really bring visibility into the market as in luxury products? For certain products where I'm really good at certain products, can I really brand myself as a luxury brand for certain some of the coffee products, right? So that kind of a shift. So this is what we have done for this company, where they were initially thinking of transportation company. Transportation and logistics was there where they were operating as a company, but now they are actually bringing a brand shift in order to project themselves, so their brand is perceived as a supply chain management company. So they are actually helping bigger companies like Mercedes and such, big clients they are operating at. But they've always been pictured as a transportation and logistics SaaS company, but rather they have never been looked at as a supply chain management company. So this is a shift what we are bringing in. When you apply it to your own coffee brands, you can always see that how do I really differentiate myself as being just a distributor to as a the brand engagement, what kind of a brand engagement I can bring. So this is also a brand shift which you're actually bringing to your own organization. Or let us say if you're just doing production and distribution, but you have associated with certain retail outlets where some of the retail outlets are carrying your coffee products, right? But how do we really associate with them to still bring in your brand visibility, being part of that collaboration also? Again, there is a brand shift which we have to bring in. You can always see in the, go out there and talk about that we are available in these retail outlets. This is where we are, and we are present in multiple places. available for you, available to you, for my coffee products. And our segmentation is done. If your need is, for very specific, kind of brands which you want to, emphasize on, or the type of coffee which you want to sell, if you want to really show brand shift in terms of the type of coffee which you are selling, so those things also would matter, and see that you are able to bring the brand shift. So this is how we've been helping the IT and the non-IT companies in terms of the workforce transformation, operational excellence, and also branding and marketing. So I'm open to questions, and please feel free to share your challenges, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes. If we have time, we can spend. I hope this session was useful. Please, if you can put in your inputs in the chat window, it will be very encouraging.
Hi, Srividya. Thank you very much. This is Mitra. May I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, please tell me.
Okay, so we are a coffee oil manufacturing company, and thank you for the lovely presentation. The case studies were really enlightening. We are now finalizing our packages for the SKUs that we have developed from pure coffee oil, and we are ready with our website, but not ready as in 100%. But since you operate out of Bangalore, is what I understand your office address to be, which is on the screen, we were looking at doing offline positioning of our retail beauty product into the Bangalore market. And we would like to have a conversation with you for getting to market. We are at the GTM stage now. So what would be a good way to begin this conversation and to understand how you could help us, please? Because we are based out of Calcutta currently, and that is one that we are trying to foray into the Bangalore market for the retail segment of offline sales. And the second is, how do you help clients which are not directly based out of Bangalore? I know you said you stated examples of Bombay clients, but how do you start working with them? Was I audible, Srividya?
Ma'am, actually you are muted, Srividya ma'am.
I was able to hear you, Mitra.
Okay, that's good, because I couldn't hear any sound from your end. So, so I'm understanding that you've heard my questions.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So, I think go-to-market strategy we will have to plan, Mitra, here. I mean, what we do is the way we work and operate with any of the clients, even if they are not in Bangalore or otherwise. What we do is, the first step, what we do is the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, we sign with every client. And we talk whatever products or services, in case even to the pricing, what prices you are actually offering to your clients, at what cost, what is it actually, and taking for you to for the logistics and all that, we understand to that level, so that we are able to do our bit in terms of what is that strategy which we are actually going to put in, and how much is it sustainable for you as a brand to do the marketing efforts on a monthly basis. So this is something more of a brainstorming exercise which we will have to do together, and then get on with the next steps of bringing the go-to-market strategy, and bringing an approach to your offline engagement or online digital marketing. Offline, we have been helping the clients in bringing the operational efforts and building the strategy for offline engagement for going to the market. But online, definitely, we are also, as an extended team, we have been helping the companies. So this is how we operate, Mitra.
Okay, so when you say that you would be doing, see, I already have devised certain strategies to get to market, and one of them was the offline point of sales in the Bangalore coffee sector. I mean to say, there are multiple units where coffee grounds are sold. We would like to shelf our products there. We would like to partner with multiple cafes who has their own merchandise to shelf our product along with them. So these are certain kinds of strategies that we have worked out within the team. But so that is the offline. Now, because you said that you are focusing on the online primarily, and when you said that there is a step of brainstorming together, so that brainstorming activity with your team and mine, does it happen online again? Because I'm based out of Calcutta and you are based out of Bangalore.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
Yes,
basically
Mitra.
a partnership which works over the phone or Zoom calls or things like that.
Absolutely. What we do actually.
So how do you see my manufacturing facility? Because that's what is needed to understand the process
I
and the
will.
products.
It's too early for me to comment on that, Mitra, because I have. I mean, I do know. I've not gone through your website, your presence in the market, what you have done, what kind of products you have. So there is a
Right.
little bit of competition or competitor analysis I will have to do before we even look at what you are and what you have been doing in this, and what
Sure.
your products are. So we can connect offline. I have.
Yes. So let's
I have.
schedule some time for us. So I have taken your contacts on the screen now, and I'll reach out to you to set up a call for you to understand and provide us a proposal to start collaborating with each other if everything goes all right.
Sure, Mitra.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Vidya.
so much. Thank you, Mitra.
Any other questions, dear participants?
Any other
Ma'am,
questions you have? You can
yes, ma'am.
always put
Actually,
a message in the chat window also if you're unable to speak.
ma'am, I have a question for you, ma'am.
Okay. May I know your name, please?
This is Vaishnavi, ma'am, talking from Atal Incubation Center, Coffee Board.
Okay.
Ma'am, what strategies can businesses use to differentiate themselves in a highly competitive market, ma'am, in general?
Uh, can you repeat that question, please?
What strategies
What?
can businesses use to differentiate themselves in a highly competitive market?
So, yeah, so to answer that question, see, main thing about, you need to know what your brand is all about, what products you are selling in the market, and which segment you are operating at, right? Once you know where you're operating, which segment you're operating, is it a luxury product or is it a product which can we reach out to the mass product also? So like you said, these are very, very important elements for us to define our brand first. First, we need to define our brand competence, where we stand and how are we. So that defines the area where we have to promote ourselves, where we can promote and how much are we budgeting for that promotion to happen, right? And then against that promotional strategies, we will have to plan a content strategy, the reach strategy, the campaigning efforts, either on the brand awareness perspective or from a lead perspective, right? And the other important thing is, if you are not only from a very specific target segment point of view, you also have to be clear about your, let us say your shelf life of the products. Where do you really want to put it and how much really, is the shelf life of your products, right? That also, so there are many specific parameters which you have to assess your product against. And accordingly, you can define, am I really going to get into, the supermarket shelves, or am I going to, so there are very specific, clear understanding to bring in that where am I going to sell the products? Who is going to buy my purchase the products? Is it B2B? Are we operating in the B2B space? Are we doing white labeling? Or are we doing, sending it to the end customers, like consumers directly, B2C? So B2C market are we targeting? So B2C platforms, we will have to target them. B2B, if we are doing, we are not necessarily depending on the other channels and all that, but Google also plays a very important role for your B2B business to operate in. So like that, we will have to bring in our Google presence, strengthen our Google presence with search engine optimization or social media marketing, bring a proper drive to your website, traffic to your website. So there are, step by step, you will have to plan out these things, which actually helps you to build a brand over time. So no brands are built over time, but what it really means to you is to create all these elements, making sure that it's all planned and well touched upon, so that for you to brand yourself in the respective channels, offline or online.
Understood, ma'am. Thank you for answering.
Thank you. We spilled over around 15 minutes, but I hope it was worth it for all of you. Thank you so much for joining.
Participants, anyone having any other doubts or clarification?
Thank you, Isha. Thank you, Agustin.
So there are any other questions. We'll come to the conclusion of today's webinar series. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Abhita, Lab Technician at Atal Incubation Center Coffee Board. Before I begin the vote of thanks, I'd like to remind you that you can explore our latest newsletter by scanning the QR code on the screen, or the links is also available in the chat box. We value your feedback, so please help us improve by submitting your response through the feedback link provided, or alternatively, you can scan the QR code or else you can click the link in the chat box. Alternatively, you can review us on the Google. The link also available in the chat box, or else scan the QR code. Now, on behalf of Atal Incubation Center Coffee Board, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Mrs. Srividya for her enlightening session in the Thought Cafe webinar series. Your insights into the key challenges that companies face when striving for growth were truly valuable, and we deeply appreciate the time and expertise you shared with us today. We look forward to future collaborations and appreciate your contribution. Finally, a special thank you to all the participants for your active engagement and insightful questions. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. So I've just put in the some of the links in the chat window. If you would like to follow us, follow in each of these platforms. Thank you so much to Atal Incubation Center for giving me this opportunity. It indeed means a lot. I'm here, the vision from the companies, and this is where I stand, and I've always been in that view that if I'm able to bring in even 10% change in the organizations, it is very satisfying journey for them and as well for me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, participants.
Thank you, madam.